not that many people would know this, but we looked it up. The Marchioness tragedy back in 1989 saw you losing 51 friends, and it has been a long time now. And just looking back at that event, how did it change your outlook on life?
Oh, it changed my outlook on life completely in ways that I didn't even know it could, I suppose. It's very difficult to put into words, or it's very difficult to express the effect that it's had on me. I think the main one, physically, I put on about 5 stone within about a month, and I didn't realise what I was internalising. I didn't even see it happening. And I think it has given me a lot of confusion of sort of, trust issues and all sorts of things feelings that I didn't even know could exist prior to it, and that you can't make sense of it until you're going through it, or until you've come out the other side of it, and then spend time looking back on the previous year thinking, where have these behaviour patterns come from? Why have I done this, And I can only put it down to that sort of confusion of post-traumatic distress syndrome, which sounds, everything that I've just said, doesn't really make sense at all, but I suppose, I hope it's made me a better person, a more simpatico person, a more understanding person. I think that one has to come to terms with grief at some point in one's life, and I think in many ways, sooner rather than later, you can argue sort of be as innocent for as long as you can. But I've seen people now literally fall apart when they haven't experienced death at a sort of older age.
Yeah.
I've had friends that haven't lost anybody close to them until they're about 50, and it literally rocks their world completely, and they have breakdowns because of it. So in many ways, it has equipped me for the sort of the sadness that life will bring us all. And so I'm a lot more pragmatic about it now, and I hope helpful to other people as a result.
What is your message to those going through grief?
I think you just have to give yourself the time to deal with it at your own pace, and don't try and sort of please others, which sounds very selfish. I guess what I'm saying is I went back to work as soon as I could, which was probably a big mistake. And because I was so worried about losing the trappings of a career. But I think now, with hindsight, it would have been great to just sort of, to see where it took me, and just to sort of relax and not think that the world's going to end, and that you don't have to play to somebody else's tune other than your own. Because if you do things too quickly in life, it will come back to haunt you at some point. Because what really has been an issue for me are the fellow survivors after all these years, because we all judge each other as we did in 1989. I was 23, and people that sort of fellow survivors or whatever, I still sort of, I felt they were looking at me in a certain way, or judging me in a certain way.
Did you feel they were blaming you?
There was always an element of that with me.
Because it was
I sort of organised
party,
it.
Right?
Yeah, and of course that doesn't make any sense at all. Of course, it's nothing to do with me. But people behave very strangely with grief. And and I think collectively when we're together as survivors, I don't no interest in seeing survivors anymore. Because it brings back memories that I don't want to think about. And actually, it's fine for me to say that I don't want to talk about it to you.
Exactly.
My experience is my experience, yours is yours, and you should not be trying to make me feel anything, because I'm demanding nothing of you. Now, a lot of that was in my mind, because I did come up with this whole sort of ridiculous survivor's guilt thing, and probably I was imagining a lot of it.